You're gonna be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got fat asses. The only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, is you can run lickety split. But you can't run because you're fat asses. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the gyms alive. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the arm that I'm all night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know I know he loves sugar. But I checked my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Booking a match for the total package Lex Luger and Super Brawl. Super Saturday? What is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Bowl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha.
I hate God! Hit the dog! Yes! We love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, woo, I've got the star and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
Is it me, or does that sound like a bad truck commercial? Hey, this ain't your daddy's truck. Come on. It's a Ford. I don't know. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Happy hump day. It is Wednesday. It is the Dirt Sheet Dudes. I am Boxman. And, of course, sitting across from me, ever so handsome, the sleek, it's Mark Wahlberg. What's going on, man?
Capacity.
All right. I need to make sure that I have your audio settings correct first. One more time. Sound Blaster, you should be a little louder than that. All right, I'll turn you up right here. We should be all right. There we go. All right, we're good to go. All right, man. What's been going on, Smark? How you been though? Been good? Not bad.
I have been just days. How about you?
I'm going on 10 days now, no day off of work. I'm tired. I think I'm to the point where I'm so tired, I just don't even give a fuck anymore. I got tomorrow and Friday, and then I got a weekend ahead of me, thank God. And then the weekend after that, I got to work again. Shoot me in the fucking balls. Anyway, we do have of course, one little bad thing to get into, and then the rest of the show we're going to not have anything really bad to get into. But we do have one bad thing we obviously have to get into. I believe it was Monday. Actually, I know it was Monday. It was Monday right around lunchtime. I was actually sitting at lunch with my dad, and we'll get into this, and then, you know what? Let's do the plugs first. How about that?
That's a cliffhanger. I like it.
There you go. We'll do that. We'll get the plugs out of the way real quick, and then we will get to the bad news. How's that? Let's do that, because then going from there to plugs, it's like, nah, let's not do that. But, all right, let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll find a song here. I'll find a song. I don't have one over there on the royalty free, but I'll play something anyway. Let's see. Let's play. We'll give Christian a song. We'll let Christian have one. Give him the old "At Last, Christian, You're on Your Own." And that means I want you guys checking out the High Marks. That's right. Go over, check out the High Marks. It's Cheeseman. It's Mojo. It's Gee Whiz. And Gee Whiz, is it a good time? So go over there. Check out those guys Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And where are you going to check them out? You're going to go right here to mixler.com/Metal Mitt Network. That's right. Don't forget that second D. Mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network, 8:30 p.m. Sunday nights. And of course, it's Bobby Anthem, it's Bobby Blades, it's the Inhumans. They are on the Inhuman Experience. Go subscribe to that show if you have not yet. What are you waiting for? Why are you waiting? Go do it. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms. And of course, everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Eric, Doug, and Daniel over there. They are really good guys. They're having a great time over there. And you should check them out. Blog Talk Radio and all the usual podcast platforms. And of course, Steve Milan over there sharing the show. Definitely check him out. Letterboxd, BOXD.com/Steven Milan, 2 L's when you're over there typing his last name, Milan. And of course, you guys know where to go to follow us. You can follow us on Spreaker, and I guess now it's you can follow us on Apple Podcasts. I don't believe you subscribe anymore. I think you follow now. And get us there. YouTube, Anchor, Stitcher, iHeart, TuneIn, Player FM. You know where to go. Everywhere. Go for it.
We're kind of mixing the machine. It's cheese on the sports. Cheese, man. On the mixing machine, it is the No Dirk City Machine Guns with Mojo and with Dirk. And last but never least, our friends at Planet Raccoon. It's the Planet Raccoon Tour podcast about the Anthem, Papa Davidson Sr. and Young Nasty. I, Boxman, have a 12-hour road trip ahead of me Friday morning, and I am going to be spending that time re-listening to Season 1 of Planet Raccoon Tour, and you can as well, wherever you find your gosh darn podcasts.
That's right. Smark will be out traveling on Friday, so you guys got me Friday night. I'll go ahead and jump on. We'll have some fun. Got a few things we can get into. I'll again make sure I'm a little more prepared than last Wednesday when I wasn't sure whether or not Smark was going to be on or not. But I know now. He gave me ample time to know about this. So you guys are going to have me Friday night. So come on by, join me. You know where? Mixer.com/DirtSheetDudes. Yeah. All right. I guess that means we got to get into the bad news. I was trying to stall, but can't do that. So, all right. Like I said, I was sitting at lunch.
Eating lunch with your dad.
Eating lunch with my dad, and I get a alert on my phone. I don't get many alerts on my phone, but I do get like regular news alerts. And I don't remember which news source it was, but boom, Paul Orndorff dead at 71 years old. We did see a picture of him, what was it, 3 weeks ago, Mark? Something around 3, maybe 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, around that.
Was not looking very good. Rumors of dementia were kind of flying around a little bit, Smark. Now, I think we all remember pretty good amount of Orndorff. Obviously, I actually remember him from WCW more than anything, I think. But I do remember a good amount of Paul Orndorff having, like I said, mostly from WCW. I'm not quite sure why that sticks in my head so much, but that's really where I do remember Orndorff from. But his son did announce that he had passed away. The cause of death is, and this is believed, not actual doctor-certified cause of death, His son believes that it was, we do know his father was battling dementia, which his son believes was caused by chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Yeah, that's right. Encephalopathy. Everybody knows that one.
Absolutely. Which basically is, that name is CTE. It's I mean, we've talked about CTE before on this, on many shows before, and that's pretty much what that breaks down to. And that's what those three words mean, is for CTE. So obviously they're saying that it was from shots to the head. They're saying, I mean, that can come from boxing, that can come from football, that can come from MMA. Haven't had any of those in MMA yet, but a lot of those guys are still pretty young. But another one caused by CTE, according to his son. We don't know that yet, but usually you do get the Alzheimer's, dementia with the CTE later in life, Smark.
Right.
So, what you want to say about Orndorff, Smark?
Okay, so he was a little bit before my time. Like, you know, he was an early 80s or mid 80s type of guy. You know, he was with the WWF. He did WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2. I was talking to my stepdad about this. He said he was basically Lex Luger before Lex Luger for them. And I kind of winced at that, but it seems like that would be a pretty appropriate from what I've been seeing comparison. The only real memory that I have of him, and I know this sounds like a joke, but it's not. There's a commercial for the Hulk Hogan Hulkamaniac workout set.
Ah.
And who, of course, would be better to promote the Hulk Hogan Hulkamania workout set than Paul Orndorff, who is, last time I checked, not Hulk Hogan. So you have a kid in his bedroom. He wants to be big and swole like the Hulkster. Well, Paul Orndorff comes busting through like the Kool-Aid Man. And this is like a thing where it could only happen in wrestling or wrestling-related media, where a guy busts through a child's room without a shirt, wearing his wrestling trunks a la underwear. And he's like flexing in front of this kid, and this kid is totally fine with it. Like anywhere else, that is definitely some sort of a crime. But that is where I remember him from. And like you said, WCW, he was featured more so there. I've seen like clips of him, you know, on YouTube from WCW more so than his time in WWF.
Yeah, most definitely. Orndorff's son Travis put out a couple of little tributes. He kind of just kept saying that he was obviously really. It seems like they were very close, just from the things he was saying. You know, one of the things he said is he was an amazing father that showed me more love than I ever deserved. I love you, Daddy. And that was kind of the conclusion of the little tribute he did to him. But, man, I know 71 is not young, but it's not that old anymore. But with dementia, you know, that's a tough one to deal with. But I don't know, man. Like I said, just wasn't expecting it. Pretty sad news to hear when you're, you know, just trying to eat lunch, man. Just trying to eat my ham and cheese club.
A ham and cheese club, you say?
Yes, that's what I was eating. Ham and cheese club. No mayo, mustard instead.
Very nice. Okay, yeah. I like it. Was this a local eatery, or is this some sort of a chain restaurant fare?
No, it was actually a place called The Diner, which is kind of a local place. There's two of them in the area, but that's it.
I do kind of like those places that just have nondescript names. Like we have a place around here that's called City Cafe, which is a name of a place that you could have literally anywhere in the country, and there's probably hundreds of them.
Yeah, you could have thrown that in the Friends show. Literally. Hey, look, it's the City Cafe. There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. So that sounds like a Friends episode, Smark. There you go.
There you have it. Yes.
Yeah. So, man, I don't even know what else to say. I actually didn't see that little. This is kind of a newer article because we didn't have cause of death yet, and I hadn't read that little quote by his son. That's that kind of hits hard, man. But, you know, I mean, Dustin Rhodes and a bunch of other people obviously chimed in on it. But, yeah, man, I mean, obviously just, you know, condolences to his family. And, you know, like I said, 71 with dementia, it's never it's never good, man. And it's never good when someone loses. Obviously, like I said, he was obviously very close with his son. They got a cool picture here of Orndorff with a wild boar that he killed. Obviously a hunter. So pretty good shit, man. Pretty good shit. But again, condolences to his family. And yeah, I don't know where to go from there, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, somehow, I guess we're gonna have to move on though. But all right, we will do that. Let's find something else to talk about here, Smark.
Well, if you pick from anything that I sent you, it's only uphill from there.
Well, you know what?
there's a lot of fun and positive, bubbly things that we could talk about in the world of arrest and sexual assaults and things of that nature.
Speaking of arrests and scandals and things like that, 23 years ago today, Smark, in Uniondale, New York, Terry Bollea, not Hulk Hogan. So this little dick son of a bitch is sitting up there on the fucking, on the podium testifying in the Vince McMahon steroid distribution trial. 23 years ago today, Smark. That's right. Again, Terry Bollea up there, not Hulk Hogan.
Right. It is an important distinction.
Very important. I mean, a matter of about 7 inches, probably. It's a 7-inch distinction.
That is an entire half of a sub.
It's a Subway sub distinction away from.
That's right, because meat isn't real in this case either.
Oh.
There's a lot of chemicals and preservatives in that.
Wah, wah, wah. Damn, Smark, you're ruthless, my man. Ruthless. But there you go. And let's see, 26 years ago today, WCW presented the Great American Bash from Baltimore Arena in Baltimore. 7,000 fans in attendance. There you go. About 145,000 homes purchasing the event on TV. Oh, my God. Imagine if there were podcasts back then. Only 145,000. That's all right. It's not bad. I could probably get more than that, though. Just sitting around in my house.
It's a very interesting character.
Yeah, every now and then it happens. Just happens. Well, I'll just sit around my house. I get 145,000 pies. Oh,
I don't know who this guy is, but I would like to know more about him.
He's tired, man. Just tired. Prince Valium from Spaceballs. All right.
Good old Prince Valium. Yes,
there you go. Pulled that one out there. But there you go. That's enough of what happened today. Bunch of other stuff happened today, but no one gives a fuck, really.
It wasn't like in terms of voice impression, but it was more in terms of tone. Like that's kind of a perfect Dave Meltzer.
Oh no, I would have had to add like 5 more ums.
Boring and sleepy and just droning on endlessly.
I would have had to add a few more ums in there and a maybe.
Don't forget a well.
Well,
Oh, and apparently just a random, generalization about some type of Hispanic stereotype. He apparently loves those.
If only they stole his tires. I don't know. They should have stolen his tires. Maybe. Yeah. I'm just saying. All right, let's keep rolling here. You know what? Maybe we should just get to all this. Let's just get to the bad news, dude, because there's really not a lot of news. I mean, all we got left is
who's ready for a lighthearted romp?
I mean, it's not that bad.
Do you have yakety sax we could play in the background while we read these?
Actually, you'd be surprised, Smark.
I would not be surprised. That's why I asked that question. There we go. I can do it.
Do I have the Benny Hill music? Who the fuck you think I am, sir?
That's right.
God damn it. Of course I do. But yeah, I mean, look, we there's really not a lot to get into. A lot of the news is tied into the shows that we're going to talk about. News was a little scarce this week, to be honest with you. Not much going on. But let's just knock out everything. Go ahead. You know what, Smart? Go ahead and pick something.
Oh, right.
Just put it on there.
So, from our friends here at F4W Online, the Old Observer, Michael Elgin, our good friend of the show, arrested for violating protection order. Not friend of our show. I don't know him at all.
Friend of what show? All right.
Well, I said friend of the show, so that could be any show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't put that shit on us, man. What the fuck?
Close personal friend of Boxman, Michael Elgin.
No!
Has been arrested for violating a protective order. A WrestlingNews.co report says that Elgin was arrested on June 29th, days after he was reported missing on Facebook. I was unaware that happened, but was later said to be found safe. His ex-fiancée, who WrestlingNews.co identified by her first name, Alex, filed the order of protection on May 21st after leaving her home in April due to safety concerns. She said that she was being abused physically, mentally, verbally, and emotionally by Elgin. He must have forced her to watch his matches.
No, she would have just fell asleep.
It's true.
Look, there were those texts that got leaked back and forth with him and some other girl. The guy's a scumbag. He's a piece of shit. There's no getting around it. I would even say that's fact. I don't know the guy, but from what I've read, from what he says to women and things, he's kind of a piece of shit. So,
yep.
Now.
Well, it only gets better. Because it goes on to say,
please.
Alex, who talked to WrestlingNews.co, said that Elgin had violated the order over 60 times and has used suicide as a manipulation tactic. According to WrestlingNews.co, the protective order states, quote, I had a plan to leave a few times before, but always backed out from fear. Since I left, I have received hundreds of phone calls, hundreds of text messages, numerous videos, and suicide threats from him. He has also reached out to my friends and family whenever I or someone he has reached out to block him. He uses the free text/calling apps to make a fake number and continues calling and texting. Sometimes saying it is him, sometimes pretending to be other people. I have asked him not to contact me numerous times. Since I've been in a relationship with a respondent, I have suffered sexual, mental, emotional, and verbal abuse from him. Abuses included punishment from saying no to sex, berating me verbally in public, berating me verbally in private, isolating me from my friends and family, monitoring my phone and computer to see if I'm complying, extreme control. Sexual caretaking, pressure to engage in sex acts I expressed not wanting to do, like probably just having sex with them in general, exposing my sexual health by seeing male and female sex workers during our relationship, insulting and shaming me, and intimidation. Recently found out he has been texting me our entire relationship from different fake numbers, pretending to be people from my past, saying nasty things about me. I believe this was used along with many other tactics of control and manipulation to break me down and keep me under his control. Elgin has only made... Gotta love the Observer because they're going to tie this back to his wrestling career.
Of course.
They have to. Elgin has only made sporadic wrestling appearances because that's what's important here, since being fired from Impact Wrestling last year due to speaking out allegations he previously had run-ins with Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay. This is let me start with this little quick sentence. If these allegations are true, this is scary shit. Honestly, dude. First of all, the allegations that she meant to leave, but he threatened to commit suicide, things like that. That's very scary right there. What was that?
I'm sorry. That was get myself here for a second.
Okay. All right. That's some scary shit right there. That's something women do when, that's something women would pull. The problem is when they say that, they don't always mean they're going to actually kill themselves and could actually turn to you instead of themselves. The punishment for saying no to sex, that's called rape. Berating, berating in verbal and private, and in public and private, that's bad. Isolating her from her friends and family, that's another scary one. That's grooming type shit. That's the type of shit where you're way too controlling. She even says controlling in the next one. Pressure to engage in sex acts I express not wanting to do. That's usually called rape, I believe, in most places. The guy is obviously having some sort of break. If he's done this over 60 times and the cops can't do shit about it, she's probably a very scared person. And unfortunately, a little piece of paper doesn't, guarantee that this guy's going to stay away. And from the state of mind, if again, allegations being true, the state of mind he's in, it's not going to stop him. He's going to keep coming back until she does something drastic, or he does something drastic, or the cops finally sit there and fucking get involved. So, I don't know. This is kind of scary. Again, allegations all being true. This is a very scary man that this woman is dealing with, and I can see why she's scared, and I can see why she's already had a restraining order that he violated 60 times. This guy should be in jail, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. But I guess unfortunately he's not. But he's a weird dude. Like, I remember when he was in New Japan, there was like a bit of a controversy because they had put him in a tag team with Jeff Cobb, and he was saying that he got mad at Jeff Cobb because he was hanging out with War Machine, or the Viking Raiders as they're known now, too much. So he got mad at Jeff Cobb for not being his friend. It's a very weird situation.
No, that's control. That's control right there. That goes back to being a controlling freak right there. Again, the isolating from friends and family, that's a control issue right there. And, not wanting your friends to hang out with other friends, that's a control issue. You can't control what they're doing. It's fucked up, man. And it's not a good fucking none of this sounds good at all. This sounds like a fucking, Jesus Christ, you could read all this this sounds like a fucking kidnapping tale. Mm-hmm. Seriously, this sounds like what someone says when they were kidnapped. For years. It's ridiculous.
There's just all kinds of different ways that he's doing this. Like pretending to be other people, pretending to be people that she knew, from earlier on in life. Just all kinds of harassment throughout all platforms, phone calls, text, emails, all this kind of stuff. Like, he's going through just great lengths of just to the point where obviously a lot of it has to be calculated. Like, this isn't spur of the moment type things. It's just stuff that's been going on for a long time and just various platforms.
She's his she's his Jey Uso. I'm telling you, this is what Roman does. Roman does the same shit, and they just let it go on TV because it's cool, and it's, hey, just lay in that Stockholm syndrome, brother. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
old Stock syndrome.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I really, like I said, I completely understand why this girl is just probably very frightened. And again, I think this guy should be in jail. Absolutely. I really don't know where else to go with it except lock him up. Should we start chanting lock him up or something?
Something like, where are you going to go to chant that? He's not booked anywhere anymore. That motherfucker ain't getting work.
You're right. He's only had sporadic wrestling appearances since being fired from Impact Wrestling last year due to the speaking out allegations. Again, he had allegations last year due to speaking out.
I guess it's important to just tie. I guess that was their way of tying in the fact that he's had other allegations by other people. But just, it sounds clunky where it's like, oh, he hasn't wrestled in a while because he's not with Impact anymore. It's like, okay, that's not important right now.
Well, because of, he was fired due to speaking out allegations, which you're right. It kind of, it tags a little bit of both tags the allegations, plus it tags a little wrestling, because, just in case you didn't know he was a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you didn't know. But yeah, I feel horrible for this girl, Alex. Awful. And she said she's trying to, get a new relationship and move on. And, this guy's just like popping up all over the place, texting her. He's using like old iPod apps to text her.
Right.
And
I mean, that's the problem. Because, with it being Michael Elgin, like, he can slip through any sort of cracks or holes in the wall. He's a very small man. It's like having a mouse infestation. Those motherfuckers will pop. Michael Elgin just comes scurrying out from the entertainment center.
Shit, just popping out of somewhere in the wood molding. Just coming out of nowhere.
You can hear him on the walls. You have to just kind of bang and hope he goes away.
Oh, you get that little... Right? Uh-huh. I know. Yeah, that was the old house. Luckily here, I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, haven't heard any of that here. But
there was a snake last year.
What?
Yeah.
Kill that motherfucker.
Like around June of last year. There was just... Because I thought it was a rat, but it was a snake. And that was not fun. It wasn't like a poisonous one, I don't believe, but snake, just same, unexpected, unwanted.
Yeah, usually what I do when I see a snake, I shoot it. I don't like snakes. I'm so scared of snakes. I'm not gonna lie. They scare me. I'm scared of snakes. Very, very.
Oh yeah,
scared.
I mean, very unpleasant.
Very scared of snakes. I don't like snakes. Not at all. Never have.
I always find people that keep them as pets to be kind of strange.
My best friend that I've told a few stories about on this show actually had a birthday 4 days ago. Happy birthday, Mike. He had them all the time. He had a friggin' like 6-foot Burmese python at one point. He had a little ball python. He had a boa at one time. I hate snakes, and he used to let that fucking python just crawl around the house, slither, dare I say, around the house. Ich. I hated it. I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna go outside and smoke 20 cigarettes. Bring me another pack later. Eesh. Yeah, never liked being there.
A friend who had one, and he also had a dog, and it just seemed like, I know how this is going to end.
Oh, yeah, the dog wrapped around the snake.
That'd be a surprise. The fucking dog just takes the snake out. It's like, hey, he was coming after me.
Oh, you're right. I did say that backwards, didn't I?
Dog's got the snake and like a fucking rear naked choke.
What kind of dog we talking here, Smark?
It's a fucking jujitsu dog. It's one of those real.
Oh, Chihuahua? Okay.
I was trying to come up with a pun, but I couldn't think of one in time.
That's probably good. Oh, right. Let's let's add a little levity to this. Starting tomorrow, July 15th, those of you who have Android and iOS devices, which is pretty much everyone at this point, AEW did announce today that its next mobile game, All Elite General Manager, will be launching. So tomorrow, that game will be launching. This is their second game. They've got the again the casino. I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't get into the casino. It's just like any other casino game out there. There's really nothing different. You don't even have, like I said, you don't even have wrestling slots. They're just regular bullshit slots that you would find on like Slotomania or somewhere on Facebook. Facebook
I believe
games.
the proper term for wrestling slots was Resolicious. It's kind of offensive that you would refer to them as such.
Well, I mean, there's always... Listen, we're going to talk about Sonny later. Let's not spoil anything.
Fuck, I ruined the good... That would have been a great segue. Sonny's...
We're going to talk about it later. Now, this game isn't exactly going to be that. This is going to be kind of one of those simulation title. It's going to let players book their own fantasy wrestling matches. It's going to be more about planning and logistics and not so much about controlling a wrestler. So pretty much it sounds like it's just going to be kind of a role-playing game like that where you just go in and you set up matches and you come back and it's like, oh, look, I won because the algorithm said winner. I'm not down with these games, to be honest with you. But if you are,
I'm going to wait and see what the reception is. I might try it if enough people like it. It's weird, though, that you have to book Cody at least once a show, every show. That's like the only rule of it.
Yeah, it's the only rule. He's automatically in. He's automatically like the first match. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It probably, you never know. With Cody, especially, you don't. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not into these types of games, but if you are into these types of games, a lot of people are. Listen, I hate first person shooters. A lot of people love them. I can't. I'm usually way too high to play those games. Let's just lay it out there. Yeah, I just can't keep up with the first person shooter. Like, being right there, I need to see. I need to see the player. I need to see the whole thing. I don't know. I can't play first person shooters. I'm awful at them. I
used to have quite a lot of fun in my teenage days playing Halo 3 online on the Xbox Live, and just having a lot of fun making fun of just overly testosterone-driven, like, homophobes that would just say all kinds of swears and slurs and hateful things and get really mad when I, like, shot them from behind and then asked them if they had Backstreet Boy tickets that I could buy from them.
But that was back in the day. Of course.
Well, yes, nowadays, if you ever play, like, shooting games online, it's just, like, 12-year-old kids who don't know how to work their mic settings, so you just get really loud hissing noises in the background the entire time. It's way less fun.
Or that one kid who's eating his mic.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what did you say? I said. Okay.
It's like playing with Buffalo Bill. I said, is she a very big fat person?
Would you? Oh, good movie. I do like to, again, AEW Games today put out, everyone thinks they can run the show. Now you get to prove it. So there you go. If you like trying to, fantasy booking, a lot of people do like that. So if you do, tomorrow, get your downloaded machine out. Go to the App Store or Google Store or wherever you go to get games, apps, store stuff. Go ahead. There you go. All Elite General Manager, just for you. There you go. Adding a little levity to the show there, sir. What do you think of that?
I think everything is properly levitating at the moment.
Okay. Well, there you go. Unfortunately, we have to get back to all the other news now.
Unfortunately, we cover wrestling, which means mostly scumbags.
I know, man. I need to do like music or something, man. This is all just ridiculous.
Yeah, we should switch to a more positive affair like serial killers or.
Oh, dude, I've been watching Criminal Minds. I'm down with the serial killer thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mid-season 11. I've only got one season left.
There you go. Very nice.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm not sure what I'm going to start next. I'm tempted to restart NYPD Blue. But I probably won't.
Right now I'm watching Party Down. It's only 20 episodes. It's like 20 minutes an episode, so it's pretty easy to get through. It's a comedy.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be nice and simple to get through. So, all right. Smark?
Yes.
Take it away, sir. Pick one. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. My God. I didn't realize it was such a depressing, dark news cycle this week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I will have much more happier stuff to talk about on Friday, guys. I promise. I'll be.
I wouldn't say that so soon. You can't control who dies and who doesn't.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter because I'm planning on getting fucked up Friday night doing the show because I have not been able to really drink in 10 days, sir.
I might have to tune in for that. That'll be interesting.
I think I'm going to might have to ask the wife to buy a little liquor for the weekend.
Just like a 15-hour episode. It's like 20 minutes of news and then just like 8 hours of snoring.
I'm just slurring and playing a song in between.
Be sure to go on a tangent about how you find Eric Bischoff to be overrated as a booker.
I got an All Elite Booker game, and I killed my shows, that motherfucker. He's an idiot.
Exactly.
All Elite Booker tells me everything that I need to know about how good I am. Fuck armchair Booker. You can suck my armchair. Booker. Ass.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Give me another shot. Okay. All right.
Actually, you know what? After we get into the one more depressing thing, there's actually a bit of a positive.
Ooh.
That we can get into.
Let's see if
that I've seen posted in this here Mixler chat a couple of times, and I feel like we're not so subtly being asked to talk about. But anyways, we'll get through this part here. It's again from the old Observer. Former pro wrestler Candy Cartwright has dropped her lawsuit against WWE star. Now, see, they call him Matt Riddle. That's just Riddle now. You got to get with the times, guys. TMZ first reported the news that Cartwright, real name Samantha Tavel, filed for a dismissal on Monday. It's unknown what precipitated the decision or whether there was a financial settlement. Well, I'll just say a couple of guys in ski masks visited her, a la Del Rio. No, I'm kidding. Cartwright's attorney told TMZ the parties have put this in their past and are focused on the future. The suit was filed last October and included Riddle, WWE, Evolve, and Gabe Sapolsky. The other defendants were dropped from the suit since then. She alleged that she and Riddle were in a van down by the river in 2018 with 3 other wrestlers. After the others had fallen asleep while traveling, Riddle overtly propositioned her for sex. She refused, but Riddle grabbed her throat and threatened her with, "What if I just made you?" She said she eventually gave him oral sex to get out of the situation. Cartwright's attorney said at the time that the incident was one of a multitude of sexual assaults committed against Cartwright by Riddle from 2017 to January 2020. Riddle denied any wrongdoing while admitting he had an affair with Cartwright. At one point, he said they were going to sue her for cyber stalking. Cyber stalking is, I believe that was the name of an old WWE pay-per-view back in the early 2000s.
Oh. Well,
it's either that
go.
or Cyber Sunday, but tomatoes.
Nah, close enough. Same thing. Very close. But a little confused here. She started off going to sue she was suing each party for $10 million for various damages, emotional distress, and then she goes from that to dropping the lawsuit. If you remember, we talked about this a while back, and I mean, Riddle flat out denied this. Didn't deny the affair. Said he had an affair. Told his wife about the affair, actually. Cut off the affair. I always said this. I kind of believed Riddle. Not that I believed Riddle. He just seemed so adamant about it, and he was doing videos. So you could see his face. You could see what he was saying. I don't know, man. I kind of believed him on this. Maybe she decided she's not going to get anywhere. Or, I mean, WWE obviously knew more than we did because they never took him off TV for this shit. They actually pushed him even more when if you think about it. This is right when he was coming main roster.
Right.
And they were like, it's bullshit. Let's just keep going.
Well, yeah, he had been on the roster for like a couple weeks, and then their solution to this was just to change his name from Matt Riddle to Riddle so that you couldn't find this out when you looked him up online.
Absolutely. You couldn't just go, Riddle, wrestler. I'm sure that wouldn't pull up anywhere.
Well, let's go ahead and actually do this.
Oh, I'm sure right now I would have pulled up this fucking article, one of these articles. So, but like I said, I kind of believed him. I'm not saying she's a liar, and maybe she exaggerated a few things here and there after, the old "a woman scorned." Hell hath no fury, as they say. So, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she's telling the truth. I don't know if he's telling the truth. But dropping the charges kind of, not going to say it vindicates him, but it does make Riddle look like he was a little more credible in the situation. I will say that.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, we don't really know for sure what happened, but it is what it is. There's not going to be any more stemming from this, so both of them can put this behind them, I guess.
Yes, no more stemming. There will be no more stemming.
I will say what is a great, just inappropriate timing as I'm reading this story about multiple sexual misconduct allegations. I get an alert here that says new in game, Fortnite LeBron James. So now you can play as LeBron James in the game Fortnite.
Okay.
How's that for levity and from multiple sexual assault allegations?
I don't watch basketball, so I don't need to say anything on it. I don't watch.
You're not going to be watching the new Space Jam?
No. I'm not a basketball fan, and I'm not a LeBron fan, so.
There you have it.
I mean, I know he does some very good things out there, but for charity and communities and stuff, which that's awesome. But I think he's a bit of a big mouth.
There you go.
I think he's a bit of a big mouth, but that's it. I mean, I don't watch basketball, so I don't support the NBA at all. So it doesn't really matter to me what he does. I almost said that. I said the NWA. I support. Yeah. I support the NWA, both of them.
There you go.
Both promotions, both groups of the NWA.
In all various forms and factions.
Absolutely.
There you have it. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I might have watched Rambo the other night.
It does happen.
I was in the mood to watch First Blood. The first one, best one to me. I love the first one. The second one's good, but nothing's like the first one. That's true. Have you seen the first one? You have?
I'm going to say yes, which means I didn't, but it means I'm going to say yes.
That whole speech at the end where he's in there just yelling at Troutman. I have a part of it. I have the "It's Over, Johnny. It's over" in the Hollywood Hangout intro. I do have that in there, but that's one of the greatest. Just him just sitting there trying to act, trying to look all sad and shit, and he's just
him just there trying to act.
And I go to war, and I gotta go. And he's looking like he's trying to cry, except he's got not a tear in his eye, and he's just like.
Actually, you're selling me on this movie way more than if you're like, no, it's actually a good movie.
Man,
you need to watch this movie because he tries to act.
I'm ready
All right, cool. You sold me.
I'm ready to play that scene. I wonder if I can find it. Oh shit! Hey, pick something. I'm gonna look for that scene.
Oh yes, I think I only have one more here.
Yeah, I think that's all both of us got. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what that is as I go to dig it on up. But actually, this is kind of interesting. I guess we're going to talk a little bit about it, but this was, I thought it was SmackDown because it seemed like that's what they were saying, but apparently Raw this week was the final Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
So that is interesting, finally moving on from that. Oh, and in relation to that, since we're talking about WWE, the thing that I had meant to talk about, the Tuesday 7/27 episode of the WWE NXT will not air on the USA Network. That week, the episode will broadcast at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sci-Fi. Maybe they'll bring back the old, the zombie There is no word whether additional episodes could be shifted to Sci-Fi as NBC Universal broadcasts the Olympic Games.
Yeah, you had to figure that was coming.
Yeah, I hadn't considered it. I mean, I knew that the Olympics were coming, but I forgot that they were on NBC.
Yeah, I actually did too. I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure what station they were on anymore.
It's one of those things because it's on NBC, but it's also on like the NBC multitude of networks. So you get the NBC USA. I'm sure they'll fucking show something on like C-SPAN or PBS or some shit too.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Not sure. I used to really like watching the Olympics, but in years past, I've just kind of gotten out of watching it. I mean, don't know why. Just like it's so.
I'm interested.
It's so spread now. I mean, it's 4 years apart, and you're just like, and the Summer Olympics were 2 years apart for a while, but I think wasn't the Summer Olympics 2 and the Winter 4?
It's possible, but I've always known it to be 4.
Nah, I could be wrong, but I don't know, man. Not sure how much of the Olympics I'll watch. It's really hard to watch when you don't have cable, so.
Well, yes, that will be the same problem that I will be encountering during my venture to watch the Olympics. I'm curious about it just for the sake of there's going to be no fans at all, they're saying.
Really? Yeah. That's right.
Because apparently, like, I must have said China. In Japan,
Ooh.
Their COVID situation is apparently a bit worse than ours is, so they're still sort of trying to rebound.
Yeah, and be careful. Don't get us suicided over here.
Oh, son John, you've seen us entrance.
I love Dennis Rodman. Anyway, okay.
Oh, that I do.
I do too. I like that guy. I really do. I'm not, that's not bullshit. But yeah. Not sure. You're right. There won't be any fans. That's going to be a little weird, because I don't know. It might also help some of them focus. I mean, who was it? Evander Holyfield, I believe, actually lost a fight because fans were cheering in another ring, and he thought his fight was over.
Right.
Or actually, a bell rang and fans were cheering, and he thought his fight was over. I almost want to say it was Tyson that fucking knocked him out, but I don't remember. I don't remember. It was, but I think it was Evander Holyfield. That was a long time ago. But anyway, you know what? Let's kill some time by playing some Rambo. First Blood. This is all right. This is the end scene. All right. He was going after Brian. What?
No, you're starting to do it then. I was going to say, is there anything I need to know before I hear this? But you got it set up for me.
Now, he was going after the sheriff, who was played by Brian Dennehy. Yes, Brian fucking Dennehy. Take it easy.
R.I.P.
Absolutely. So he was going after him, and he had already blown up half the fucking town, and he's in the police station, and Colonel Troutman comes in. I forget that guy's name. He's been in a ton of movies. But he comes in.
A great name for a character, though.
Wasn't it? And he was in all of them. I think he was in the third one. I can't remember. I think he was in the third. He was in the third one. He was, because they actually fought together in the third one. So, all right. So here he is. Troutman's in there, and I think we might even get the "It's over, Johnny, it's over" line. Let's play a little bit of this. I mean, we got time. Let's have some fun. Here we go.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off! It wasn't my war! You asked me, I didn't ask you! And I did what I had to do to win, but somebody wouldn't let us win! And I come back to the world, and I see all those maggots at the airport, protesting me, spitting, calling me baby killer and all kinds of vile crap! Who are they to protest me, huh? Who are they? Unless they've been me and been there and know what the hell they're yelling about!
It was a bad time for everyone, Rambo. It's all in the past now.
For you! For me, civilian life is nothing. In the field, we had a code of honor. You watch my back, I watch yours. Back here, there's nothing.
You're the last of an elite group. Don't end it like this.
Back there, I can fly a gunship. I can drive a tank. I was in charge of $1 million equipment. Back here, I can't even hold a job. Fucking cars! Ah! I can't. Just. Oh, God. Where's everybody? God. I had a friend. Was the Air Force. I had all these guys, man. Back there, I had all these fighting guys. Who were my friends? Because back here, there's nothing. Remember Dan Forth? With his black headband, I took one of those magic markers, and I said it found. He mailed us to Las Vegas because we were always talking about Vegas and this fucking car. This red 58 Chevy convertible. He's talking about this car. He said we're going to cruise till the tires fall off.
All right, I could literally play that whole thing, but I'm going to stop there because we're already going to get a copyright for this shit. Is that great shit or what?
You know, when you just hear the audio and you have no frame of reference, that could very much be a coked out 80s wrestling promo.
I don't know, but I will say it's a great fucking movie, and I watched it over the weekend. I watched it the other night.
You know what I've seen? You know what I've done? Well, let me tell you something, Iron Sheik. You're not ready for real war, brother.
I mean, Stallone is probably about as tall as Michael Elgin, so.
Ooh, that's not a great comparison these days.
Oh, Stallone is a short gentleman. I did see him once walking through an antique show, and he is not a tall gentleman at all.
That's actually a really good jab, if unintentional.
No, he really was at an antique show. My girlfriend at the time, that's what her parents did for a living, and there was one in Miami, and Stallone lived in Miami for a very long time. So I was at the show with her and her family. They hated me. And I saw him walking, and there was a crowd of people and a bunch of giant bodyguards around him. And you could literally barely see him in the middle of them because he's such a tiny little man.
Ah. I was just saying, though, that does kind of sound like that would be like a Rodney Dangerfield-esque joke. Oh, I went to an antique show, and they praised me.
I wasn't worth nothing.
Nothing at all.
They just said, next. Oh, no respect. Oh. I miss that guy. All right. Enough about movies. I'm not going to lie, everyone. I've got a pretty big itch to bring back the old movie show. So hopefully, see what happens. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. All right. Let's get back to the wrestling here. Although, like I said, I would love to just sit here and listen to Stallone. That's probably the most coherent you're ever going to hear Stallone, by the way.
Oh, yeah. The enunciation was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Very, very much. That's very nice of you. All right. So, I believe, let me make sure here. I kind of hoping we have something else here.
Yep. So do I.
Nope, we don't.
I feel like the title of this should just be We Tried.
I mean, we did, but, it's, we tried. All right. So I guess I'll get into this one. Sonny, recently released from prison, has been making a little waves on some of the things she's been doing. She actually put out a tweet looking for her OnlyFans came right, no pun intended, came right back online. All right, fucking pun intended. Okay.
Yes, she puts out this long, and we read it on the show, this long, now that this, unforeseen and unexpected and unwanted chapter of my life is finally ahead of, put to the past. I'm looking forward to moving on with life and whatever it may hold for me. And I wish you all the best, and God bless everybody, and God this and God that. And then the very next venture.
Well,
$20 for pictures of the old butthole.
Well, Sometimes God wants you to make $20 for a picture of your old butthole. I don't know what else to say there, Smark. I'm done with that.
That's right. That is an exact quote from Joel Osteen.
I am about to get a lot of hate for that one, I think, and I apologize to everybody, but that was me. That was not Smark. Send that one my way, y'all. She did put out a little tweet. Hey, guys, parentheses, and girls, I'm looking for a co-star for some pics and videos. Hey, so if anyone's looking for a job, go hit up Sunny. She was making a damn good amount off of that OnlyFans when before she was locked up. So, hey, y'all need a sugar mama, and you're willing and able. It's up to you. That's all you. But she also filed, though, to trademark her ring name. So she wants to file Sunny for entertainment services, namely providing professional wrestling and sports exhibitions, shows, and performances. She actually has a ton of wrestling in here. So I would assume she's trying to do this so she can go and actually maybe not be taking pictures of her butthole for $20, Mark. From what it's looking like, she's got television, radio, internet, streaming services, even providing interviews, news reports, comments, writings, entertainment, anything you could think of, she added in this. To obviously looks like she's trying to maybe get into some other things. Maybe do a little more wrestling stuff. Maybe do some signings, since a lot of those are coming back again. I mean, virtual signings she could do. Feinstein will have her in there in a second for a virtual signing. But I don't know. It also looks like, again, she's saying, hey, maybe I could do TV. Maybe I could do radio, something. But I think she would want to get the name first. And I tell you, man, that name, if she could actually get this, might actually help her.
Well, since you said Feinstein, I think this would be like kind of up his alley. How much do you think an autographed pill bottle would go for?
Full or empty?
Oh, that is a difficult question.
I mean, and what are we talking about here? I mean, you know, is it an aspirin bottle?
Well, yes, for legal reasons, we'll say aspirin bottle.
Okay, aspirin bottle. I don't have a clue. Who knows? $20 and a shot of her butthole. I don't know. You can have this pill bottle for $20 and a shot of your butthole. All right. There's a picture of mine already rolled up in here for you guys. All right.
I mean, that's truly the amazing thing is that they didn't induct China because of her history, but yet they keep Sunny in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. No. I can't make sense of it. I thought I could for a second. I was going to try to BS the story, but it just no, won't work. It ain't gonna work. I can't defend that. I've said before I thought that was bullshit. I mean, there's plenty of people. I mean, yeah, you don't think you could find Hulk Hogan's fucking video online? You don't think so?
That could be a good crossover right there.
I mean, there's a ton of people you could find very bad stuff on. Listen, we could look up allegations on Jerry Lawler. Y'all have him back all the time too. Mm-hmm. And some of those allegations have been basically solidified on many shoots. At least we ain't fucking no 14-year-olds. You gonna drink that beer and smoke that joint? Yep, but we ain't be fucking no 14-year-olds.
There you have it.
I mean, I forgot who said that. Who was that? I know Road Dogg was mentioned in that story. I think he said the beer and the weed thing to Road Dogg. And I forgot who it was that said that story, but it was one of those You Shoot interviews. Kayfabe commentaries, of course.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I have heard just all kinds of allegations from multiple people, and it kind of does just seem like he used his pull to have it covered up.
or Vince just covered it up just to not have a black eye on the company, which, my God, there's so many of those at this point anyway. I mean, Jesus Christ, we talked about the steroid scandal, one. The scandal we just mentioned, which, listen, that whole Donahue episode was about, sexual assault on ring crew and wrestlers.
Yeah, we played the audio of it before.
Yes,
with,
we have.
Like allegations against Patterson.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not gonna play it again, but listen, that's there's so much that you can dig up on so many people in wrestling, and they were worried about China getting banged on video. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It was bullshit. Triple H said that because his wife didn't want her in there. And, he's going to do what she says because, Jesus, talk about the breadwinner in the fucking family. She's definitely the breadwinner there. So,
Well, it was very weird because in that documentary, I was talking about the Vice documentary, I was sort of beside myself because, of all people, Vince Russo had the logical point of, if you look up half the motherfuckers that are in that Hall of Fame, you can just get a look of some of the stuff that they've been accused of or been found guilty of doing. And the breaking point is going to be porn. Like, you have Jimmy Snuka in that Hall of Fame. You have all kinds of people.
Yeah, listen, I gotta say, there's tons of stuff. A lot of people can shit on Russo. There's many reasons to shit on Russo. But when it came to the China thing, he was pretty spot on with everything he said on the whole China thing. And always has been. He was a big fan of China. Very big fan of China. I mean, he was on. If you remember when that happened, there was videos of him crying and people were putting him out and laughing at him. I'm like, not exactly funny. The guy's literally got tears in his eyes. He's not fucking acting. He's not, over there like fucking Stallone with crocodile tears.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. That was the one time I kind of was like, damn, Vince Russo's spot on this. And, man, it's really hitting him hard. Also, he really, really was a big fan of China. It seems like they might have, I don't remember if he said it, but I think they might have kept in touch outside of wrestling also. But anyway, Sunny, Trademark's her name. I think that might be a good thing for her. I think it actually might get her more on the right track to not having the OnlyFans being her only way to make money right now.
Right.
So, like I said, she put a lot of things in here that she could actually go do. Sports exhibitions, shows, manager, wrestling manager, wrestler, referee, promoter, commissioner. She threw everything in there to try to get her back in the business or into some sort of entertainment, medium, whether it be news or whatever it is. So, look, if this, good for her for at least, this seems like she's trying. I don't know what else to say there, but it seems like it.
Well, good for her. I will give her just the shiniest of all the gold stars I have in my possession.
Careful. You don't know where she's going to put that.
True. Well, in that case, I'll have it be a ninja star in case she decides to insert it somewhere.
Ooh. I found mine. I found some really good stuff while cleaning, while we've been unpacking.
Very good.
Oh, I found things I didn't even know I forgot I had. I found
That's always how that works.
I found knives I forgot I had. Like, holy shit, where did I get this?
I found a. I can actually show you. I don't know where it is yet. I found an old foam finger, a Razor Ramon foam finger from like the early '90s when I was
really
moving. Yeah, it's pretty bent because it was just like kept in a box somewhere, but I have it with me. It's in my closet now. So
okay, but those are made from urethane foam, and they actually have a memory. So if you literally just took something and sat it on top of it, for long enough, it would actually straighten itself right back out.
Not very good.
Yeah. Remember, I'm a packaging guy, but that other place I worked before I quit was foam. So
Yeah.
I know foam. Actually, they actually made some foam fingers for some smaller little teams out here. Football, baseball.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, for some, little tiny ones out here. Them little small town teams are. But all right, let's get off of Sunny. I really didn't mean to do that. And now, I guess we get into a few of the shows here, Smark. I got to be honest. I'll be up front. I didn't exactly watch all of Raw. Here's what I've been doing while I've been so busy and working. And, I've been working into the night lately, but I'm getting overtime, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. Basically, what I've been doing is reading the results, and then what I need to see, I'm going back on YouTube and watching. I did see a few things on Raw that we can get into. Not a lot. A couple of things that we can go ahead and mention. Saw one or two things on NXT. I'm sure Smark will fill in the any little gaps that I miss. We just talked about Sunny. I'm trying to be careful what I say.
Well, you said little gaps, so that wouldn't apply.
Filled in the slots.
Yeah.
Slid the credit card.
Yeah, if you would say that, like, we filled in the hallway, then that would probably apply,
Oh,
we clogged the cavern.
Smark will fill in the manhole covers that I leave open. How's that?
There you go. That's it.
That was awful. Now,
filling holes and taking souls like the Undertaker.
Yeah, there you go. Now, I did see some of this Xavier Woods, Bobby Lashley stuff. I do know Xavier Woods beat Bobby Lashley, which sent Bobby Lashley into a frenzy and actually caused Bobby Lashley to, listen, when they're doing all this stuff, they can't be having all these, basically, you can't have all these women backstage during traveling. You're going to have to get different women every time. Be a little, might as well just have hoes. You can't do that anymore. So
yeah, they're not going to fit in the, overhead compartment.
No. Well, after you kill them, they do. Okay. I'm joking. Total joke. I'm looking at Alexa Bliss. It made me think of death. I don't know why.
That's an interesting journey.
Well, she's all painted up and black. I don't know. Let's keep moving here.
I saw a picture of Alexa Bliss. I was thinking about dismembering corpses. Okay, well, usually that's more of a Sonya Deville type thing.
I never said dismember. They fold up easier, Smart.
Like a TV tray, you just kind of stow them away.
Well, not that I have experience or anything, but anyway, this caused Bobby Lashley to basically tear up the VIP lounge, and I think this is obviously a good thing. They both need to get more serious. That basically what Bobby Lashley was saying. Both of us need to get more serious. And, I thought that was a pretty good thing. And I think that's definitely going to, Jesus Christ, I was calling him Backstage Bobby for a while because that's all he was doing was backstage segments with women. And then he'd come out for 2 minutes and go backstage again. Backstage Bobby.
Right.
Yeah.
I think in this day and age, this is the closest thing you can kind of get to how, they used to have the champions of old, like Ric Flair, where he would be, his whole thing was how he had women and he had all these expensive and lavish things. You really can't put it out there now that this is a guy who's out there just banging his way through all the towns. So yeah, it's a little bit more subtle, but it's just sort of a kind of a wink and a nod to some of the old school champions.
Yeah, a little bit, but definitely I think this is going to be a little kind of another layer on his run, and I think this is going to hopefully extend his run. I did want him to have a really lengthy run as champion, and it looks like they're planning on doing that. And by the way, his birthday is in 2 days, so July 16th, we can all say happy birthday to Bobby Lashley. A couple days, so happy early birthday to Mr. Lashley over there. Let's see, what else? The Omos thing. Haven't seen much of Omos, so I did go ahead and check out that match. Doesn't matter if he won or not, but I really think he looked pretty damn good out there.
It's going to take time. He's getting better.
For the little training we know of with him in it, I got to say he's kind of impressed me a little bit. I will say that.
Yeah, he's got some good charisma to him. He's good on the microphone.
Yeah.
He's getting better in the ring. It's going to take time. I mean, he hasn't been a wrestler for very long, so there was a report if he was one of the people along with like Keith Lee that were in the big guy class, or they were teaching him how to wrestle more to the WWE style of big men. So I guess it's kind of lumber around.
Yeah. Now, you're right. He does, and you're right. He does. It's going to take time, but like I said, for the little time that we know of, I'm kind of impressed by what he's doing out there. You're right. He should be this big lumbering guy, and he's actually a pretty damn athletic and funny on the mic usually. Sometimes serious. Once again, you Humberto Carrillo fans out there, I got to apologize. Sheamus is just making him look like a bitch every week. After week, Sheamus is back with a little nose guard, face mask.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that?
I always love the wrestling face accoutrement. Like back when The Undertaker had his little face mask when Mabel broke his face. That was a good one. That Cody Rhodes, as much as it pays me to give him credit now, but the one that he had back in the day, that was good.
Trish?
Trish. That was a good one too. They shot that like mock Monday Night Football commercial when she was wearing her face mask, and it was very odd. Blah, 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 blah. There was the other one. One of the Legado del Fantasma members had a face mask for a minute.
True.
Like sometime last month, I think it was. He had like kind of the Mick Foley style mask. So I'm always about the face mask.
Brandon Cutler.
I'm most of the time always about the face mask.
That's my man. That's my man. And yes. Super Sasha Baron Corbin, he just mentioned that Sheamus did get engaged, and I believe this article is from today. Sheamus and his partner, that says partner, Sheamus and his fiancée, now, Isabella Rivilla, took to Instagram and announced the engagement. Very, very pretty girl. Looks a lot like Selma Hayek in the face. Very, very pretty girl. I think she does. I don't know if you pulled that article up, but
yeah, definitely. She is a nice-looking woman, and it is a very interesting contrast because you have one person that has no color and one person that is quite tan.
Well, she's got that exotic Latina look to her. I mean, look at the last name.
Yes.
She's not like very dark skin, but she definitely has that, Latina skin going on. Very beautiful girl, though. So, hey, congratulations to Sheamus. Good get, Sheamus. Good get.
Indeed.
You're going to be a lucky man, sir. You're going to be a lucky man. But this mask he had on had a little Lone Ranger thing going on with me. I just wanted to go, Hi-Yo Silver. And then he literally rode Humberto Carrillo like a fucking horse when he was, fucking fish hooking them over there. Double fish hooks. So, but I don't know, man. Why do this to Humberto Carrillo? Why? They are starving. Smark, you and I both know this. They have been for years starving for that next Latino star that can come out there and be that, I hate to say this, I always hate using this term, but that next Rey Mysterio. Guy's talented. Right. He's talented. He can talk. His look does need adjusting, and he looks like he's trying to find a good look for him. He's grown the beard. He's shaved the beard. He's cut the hair. He's grown the hair. So he's trying to find a good look that works for him, hair, beard, hair. But, I mean, Why do they do this to these guys? Look at Andrade. Look what they're doing with Angel Garza. I mean, they have all these Latino guys that are so fucking talented, and what do? They put them all by the wayside, and they go with the norm guys they always go with. I don't get it. Do you have any explanation that you can help me with?
It's what they do. They want it to be under their terms. Like, they want it to be their guy. So if it's not their guy, regardless of if they're talented or not, they're just not going to push them. I mean, they had a couple of real prime candidates because for a while there they had Andrade when he was still there. They still, as far as I know, have Angel Garza on the roster. You could use him in that role. He's charismatic. He can speak fluent English, so I don't really know what the problem is there. You can't really use that as an excuse. It's just it's their way. It's what they do. Because we were talking about a couple weeks ago, they were getting rid of people. They were making all the cuts, and they were saying now that they're looking for people that are basically under the age of 30 and X amount tall, X amount weight, strength, that kind of thing. The build, they're kind of reverting back to their old ways of becoming the land of the monsters again. But the thing is like they don't push any of these new guys. So why does it matter if you're young or not if they're not going to push you for like fucking 5 or 10 years until they deem that you're ready for it?
Yeah. Now the first thing you said was this. This is what they do. Excuse me. I agree with that. Then you said, but they want their guy. Ray isn't a homegrown WWF/E guy.
Right.
So that's not going to cut it with me.
Well, in the sense of Rey Mysterio, specifically, though.
A family name. I get it.
They didn't have any other choices. They didn't have anybody that they built in-house. Like, I mean, you could say Eddie, I guess, but Eddie was a WCW guy, too.
Well, and you're right, Eddie was. And Eddie was getting a huge push when he untimely passed away. I know I bring it up every time, and then they just, went on to exploit Rey Mysterio and exploit Eddie Guerrero and his death and his family in the meantime. So I always say it because I really thought it was a shitty thing to do. It was so transparent at the time what they were doing, why they gave Ray the title. It was transparent. It literally was just transparent and almost like gross to see at the time. To me, it was. I don't know how everyone else thought about it, but to me, that was kind of just gross to see. It made me almost feel like icky, like ugh. Why am I watching this? So I don't know, but I mean, they've just always had these talents, and they just throw them to the wayside, and then. Oh, well, once Ray gets hurt, they pick one, and they start pushing him. Ray comes back. They go back to catering.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being a little too picky on this, but that's just my little bitch about what they're doing to some of the people that on their roster. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like when they do the cuts, you're kind of like, well, at least maybe they can go on to someone else. But they don't. They don't ever go on to someone else. They go on to the same old people that they've been trying to push, that the crowd really isn't. I know there hasn't been a crowd, that the IWC is really not behind. Mm-hmm. I guess we could say. I mean, right now, that's pretty much all we have to go by is the IWC, the internet. So what are you going to do?
Right. And then they also have a tendency to just, for whatever reason, they get into bed with certain countries, or they decide that certain countries are more valuable to them at certain times. So they do a thing where they'll sign like a handful of people that are of the nationality or of the country that they want to appeal to. Like there's a minute there where they signed a bunch of like Brazilian people. That's how you ended up getting like, Tay-Cons, he was there, and the guy that they released not too long ago.
Arturo Ruas.
Yeah. So they did that for a minute there. There's a while there where they were just like signing a bunch of people from Ireland, and just they get into these phases where they're going to make this full scale push to appeal to certain countries, and then for whatever reason that cools down. But then the people stay on the roster, and they just don't use them until they fire them. So it becomes this weird game.
Well, didn't they go over to like China once and get this one guy, and they made a whole big thing of it, and then where'd that guy go?
Right.
What happened to that? Anyone?
Well, they were pushing hard for China for a while there, because I think that was part of the reason why John Cena started learning to speak Mandarin, was he was still with the company and he was trying to appeal to the native speakers.
And now he's doing hostage videos when he makes a mistake in Hollywood.
That is going to be exciting, because there's already debate online as to whether or not like the crowds are going to make fun of him when he comes back for that.
I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, I guess hostage video is a great chant. Hostage video.
Well, they're going to confiscate the signs, obviously. So any like John Cena signs with like a Z, they're going to take. Or an X, not Z, rather an X, but they're going to take those.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, can enough people organize a chant?
Maybe, but I don't think the fans are that sophisticated to do it. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. All right.
I would actually die if like a bunch of people just started chanting communist at Cena. He's a commie.
Oh, look, like I said, man, the guy was trying to fucking save his career. We talked about this. And I talked about how much, those movies did over there. And it did not do well this time. So, Dirk, it's okay. You missed a little. We're still here. Thanks for hanging, my man. Thanks for hanging, sir. All right. Let's talk about, I'll tell you what. This match, I actually saw a clip of. Like I said, I haven't been paying much attention. And then I went back and I watched the whole match, this John Morrison Ricochet match. They were great. Miz is... Let me tell you something. If Miz got really, really hurt and ended up as a manager, my God, he could be like fucking Paul Heyman-esque manager. He just knows what to do and when to do it outside that ring.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
He's definitely a smart guy.
Yeah, and I know I'm putting a lot on him there, and I'm not saying he is Paul Heyman. Excuse me, guys. That fan is drying up my throat. I'm going to shut it. Just, The Miz is so facial expressions, everything he does, just... I'm sorry. He was as big of a part of that match as Morrison and Ricochet. Morrison and Ricochet were just out there killing it. Those two guys, though, just had a great match, in my opinion. Go ahead.
And they've had a couple of matches just recently. Remember, there was like 2 weeks ago, maybe, that they had they had a match on an episode of Raw, is what I meant to say. And they have a little bit of chemistry there because, they faced each other a couple of times at Lucha Underground, too. So they have a bit of a rapport built.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. And I mean, I'll give Miz all the credit in the world for just still being out there and working, even though he's, injured from that weird zombie debacle, which I still say was actually, it was better than you think.
Listen, if that helps you sleep at night, more power to you.
It literally helps me sleep at night. I put the match on, and it comforts me and it pulls me to sleep.
This is better than melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
And
look at all those wrestlers.
Yet you're telling me how good it was, and you're falling asleep to it. You just contradicted yourself pretty hard there, dude.
Oh no, everybody loves a nightlight. There's nothing wrong with nightlights. Night lights and sounds of the ocean. People like ocean. Just because it helps you sleep doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It means it's a good thing.
Okay, there you go. And
I'm doing the old DDP gimmick there.
Dirk?
It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
I'm not sure if Dirk is making fun of me or actually putting Miz up there with Heyman and MVP. Listen. Heyman is more articulate and with what he says on the mic, he's a different thing. But I have always put Miz over as a hell of a talker. Always thought he was. Miz has, let me tell you something. This guy he's one of those guys that is an ambassador. There you go. He is putting Miz over. Fellow Ohioan. There you go. I just think Miz is going to have a very long future in that company. Again, this guy can be a manager. I wouldn't doubt if Miz was in a wheelchair way down the road, legit, and still managing somebody.
Right. And I mean, you think about, you don't really think, you hadn't really been thinking about it lately, but now that they're going out on the road again, they're doing live shows and going from different venues, going to town, he is going to be in his, he's going to shine like he's never shined before with that, because he's always good at doing the press tours and showing up to all the local shows, and even if it's like via satellite or just calling it, he's great at fucking shilling for the product and doing the radio interviews and talking people into buying tickets and whatnot.
Absolutely, man. Listen, I've said, I've used this term a ton of times for him, and he used to actually laugh at me for it, but Miz is a workhorse for this company. Not when it comes to, all in ring or all this, all that, but Miz does all those, like you just said, radio, TV, this, that, TV shows. He's got his own TV show. The guy is always doing something for the company. And you got to remember, this guy literally started off on one of the Tough Enough. The first time we saw him, he was the host of Tough Enough, reading off the palm of his hand. Mm-hmm. Visibly.
Teleprompter and
yes.
Doing the fucking just clunky and weird, like you had shoehorned the hoorah catchphrase in there. And I know what that represents, but I'm just saying when he did it, it was just very clunky.
He couldn't even get the fucking numbers right. When he was saying it, he was, or the website. He couldn't get the website correct, I believe it was. Believe it or not, that's harder to find online than you. And I mean, I know websites were new back then, but you just got to remember that guy came from that, not being so nervous he couldn't even talk in front of fans, to what we're seeing today. You got to give the guy credit. He took a shitty, stupid, immature character from Road Rules that people were laughing at him, thinking he was a joke. Who's fucking laughing now?
Mm-hmm.
Miz with fucking $1 million mansion that he fucking lives in, a fucking trophy and a half wife, kids,
who is getting better.
Absolutely, aging like fine wine. And I don't know, man. No one's living a better fucking life than the Miz. And again, the guy, everyone laughed at him. A joke, a joke, a joke. Guess who's fucking laughing now?
Oh, yeah, no matter what happens after, like from this day forward, he's won.
Yeah, and Dirk says one more thing, and that's a great point. Miz hardly ever gets hurt. I gotta tell you, this might only be his maybe 2 times he's actually gotten hurt enough to leave. I don't think he's been hurt very many times. I really think he's had a very lucky career. Not that he doesn't go out there and, tear shit up when he needs to, but it's just a smart worker.
Mm.
I don't know. I'll put Miz over all fucking day. I will. But he wasn't even in the match, though. And we've been talking about him for almost 15 minutes here, maybe more. Right. But the Morrison, Ricochet, those guys have great chemistry together. I still think they are they're never, in my opinion, going to get really behind Ricochet. I think Ricochet is going to be mid to lower card forever. I never see him going any further. I don't see him as a... At one point, I thought they may actually get behind this guy with his talent, but I don't... Just in ring isn't enough for him. He just can't talk. He's so unintimidating when he speaks. Not only unintimidating, unconvincing, which is worse.
Right.
Which is where he has no conviction is in what he's saying. Maybe it's because he's doing these scripted promos. Good God, throw a fucking mask on this guy and tell him not to say a word and put him with a fucking manager. Yes, go right back to what he was in Lucha Underground. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I kind of have to put it on him. Like, this has been his biggest problem for years, and it doesn't seem like he's done anything to even attempt to improve that. It's like he's been the same promo for years and years and years, and it's always been underwhelming. It's always been, like you said, non-convincing. And it seems like there's been plenty of cases where people have, like, kind of gotten, they haven't been pushed or they've been in shitty situations, and this sort of bitterness or anger or resentment that stems from that has led them to develop these sort of, amazing personas and giving them fuel for the fire. We saw that with Stone Cold with his time in WCW, coming out and going to ECW and cutting these great promos, and then the promos he would go on to cut later, WWF. It's not happening for him. He hasn't done anything to try to change it. He hasn't gotten better at all. And like, you can see that there's saltiness and there's resentment based on some of these tweets that he's been putting out and how he's been like shitting on other people in the company. The whole thing with like Io Shirai a couple weeks ago that we had read. So it's like, you can tell that he's not happy, but he's also not managing to kind of harvest that anger into anything that translates into a betterment of his character.
Yeah, how long has Ricochet been with WWE? Do you know when he was hired? What year?
I want to say probably 15 or 16. I'm going to look it up. Give me a second here.
Yeah, see when. I want to see if I have a small point.
Because Lucha Underground was 2015 is when that first started, so it wasn't 2015 proper.
Okay, so he had to be there in 2016 sometime. Okay, so he never had the chance. I mean, he never had the chance to go through the Dusty Rhodes promo classes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, because I guess he got there 2017.
Oh yeah,
or January 2018.
Oh yeah,
that's the very beginning of 2018. They announced that he signed a contract with them.
Yeah, that was 3 years after Dusty had passed. So yeah, way after that. So yeah, he never got the opportunity to. I mean, I don't know who took over promo classes after Dusty, but man, there ain't no following Dusty and promo. There ain't no following that shit. No one's as good as fucking Dusty. No one. I don't know. I don't know who took it over, but I mean, they had promo class. Smark. All those videos were leaked at one point, if you remember.
Right.
Do you remember that when all those videos were leaked?
Vaguely. I mean, I've heard stories about, like promo class and some of the stuff that they've made them do.
Right. So, I don't know, man. And again, maybe it's because it's scripted. I don't know. I've never... I don't know much about Ricochet on the indies. And I don't know... but I do know from what I always heard on THT back in those days... that he was never known to be a promo guy. Ever.
No.
Even on the indies.
No, he wasn't.
So, okay. Everyone's complained. Not one person I've ever heard has ever complained about his in-ring work. It's his promos. It's what he says. It's how he says it. So throw a fucking mask on the guy. Give him a fucking manager. Why wouldn't you do this? It's so easy. You know how it's easy? It got over in Lucha fucking Underground. We've seen it work.
Yeah.
So
well,
we know.
I mean, they had that golden opportunity because they were building that storyline for seemingly forever, where they were trying to get him into the Hurt Business, and it seemed like he was going to go. It seemed like he was going to go, and then he was like, "No, I'm going to stay true. I'm going to stick to my guns." Going to be the same boring old Ricochet that I've always been.
Yeah, see, I don't want him to do that. I don't want that Ricochet. No one does.
Right.
No one does. No one wants to see that fucking Ricochet. Do you know how out of place he would have been with those guys? I mean, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, both of them were were really coming into their own. I don't know what happened to them now. I really feel bad for those guys at this point. But he would have been so out of his league when it came to talking there. It would have been awful. I'm glad they never did that. But
I mean, they would have at least had a mouthpiece in the form of MVP, so it would have at least made up for the slack in that regard. And I mean, who knows? We've said it before. That guy has got some magic, apparently, because, we weren't talking about Bobby Lashley being a good promo until like a couple months ago.
no, you're right, and we've both of us have said that. Somehow MVP is rubbing off on all those guys because Lashley has been cutting some scathing fucking promos, and they've been great. All of them have been. So, but I mean, that's really all I got for Raw. I watched a little bit of the Natty and Rhea Ripley match, but that seemed pretty. You mentioned the word clunky before. That match looked clunky as hell. What the hell was that weird fucking kick Rhea did from the ground? I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a strange match. That was another one I saw a clip of, and then I'm like, let me watch this and see if it really is as bad as these clips made it out to be. Like, the WWE clips made the match out to be bad, and I'm like, wow, they really made it look... How did they make the match look better? I mean...
Right.
Weird. WWE made it look better, but they, whatever. What else you got on Raw? Did I miss anything you wanted to get into, Smart?
No, not really. I mean, like we said before, this is or so they say, unless they pull some fucking wool over our eyes, rather. That's where the wool goes. Mm-hmm. This is supposed to be the last episode of programming from the old Thunderdome.
Well, unless there's another kind of lockdown, then that's probably the way it's going to be. They are getting back on the road. So, actually, AEW is going to be right in Garland, about 50 minutes from me. 50, not 15. No, I'm not going. I got to work next weekend, God damn it. I'm going to be dead. All right, so that was Raw. I guess we jump into a little bit again. NXT, I guess there's a couple of things I can get into here. So I guess we can start with this little Tyler Russ thing, the second match that went on. Tyler Russ beat Bobby Fish. Poor Bobby Fish. So I guess they are trying to do this. They are going to stick with this Diamond Mine thing, Smark. Mm. Which... Again, underwhelming. I mean, aces and eights level underwhelming. Please, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can go ahead because I have missed the last 2 episodes of NXT. I saw the one this week.
Okay.
But while we were on our hiatus, as it were, I did manage to just not see them. So apparently it's gotten worse because when I saw the debut, I thought the debut was fine.
All right. I mean, I think it was underwhelming. I think.
Okay, but I mean, aces and eights level is just wow.
Listen, I was a fan of aces and eights until they started revealing members. I just remember them.
I don't like it when people reveal their members either.
Well,
it's usually downhill once the members start coming out.
Listen. Things happen. My God, my phone is vibrating over her. Things happen, and sometimes you just have to say,
"Why is your dick out?"
I mean, it happens, Smart. You know what I mean? But I was all good. I just remember the time that they were like, "Oh, look at this guy! He's coming out," and it was what's the kid? Garrett Bischoff? Is that his name? Garrett Bischoff. Garrett Bischoff.
Garrett Bischoff.
And then I was like, all right. Bischoff's kid, Bischoff's involved. All right, look, give him a break. All right. And then they're like, in West Briscoe. And I'm like, and then when Devon and Bubba, dude, I was actually like defending. You remember when I was on the fucking IYH message board? I was defending fucking aces and eights. But when the reveals happened, I couldn't do it.
Well, I think you lacked historical perspective on that.
Well, everyone lacked historical perspective. And every opinion that you have is wrong, by the way. Wrong.
We're really doing some like real insider references here.
This
for
is
the select like 3 people that remember the shit that transpired on these message boards.
Probably no one in this chat room knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, I like the inside thing there. That's not a problem. But anyway, you got like I said, they're working with the Diamond Mine thing. I'm not sure I would have thrown Bobby Fish out there to feed to Tyler Rust. I would have. I just wouldn't have. I mean, don't.
Really high
on which one, Rust or Fish?
Rust.
They
I'm
seem
not
to
saying
be.
that I agree. I'm just saying, as a matter of fact, they seem to be really high on him.
They seem to be, and I mean, they sent Kyle O'Reilly's dad out here to try to take this guy on. I don't know. I just wouldn't have used Bobby Fish.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have. But there's that. Now, we got Saray and Gigi Dolan, former Priscilla Kelly, I believe was her name. And during this match, Mandy Rose came out. Mm-hmm. So, Mandy Rose apparently is back on NXT. And
which is funny because I saw a bunch of things saying that she was demoted or punished, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, she was in a tag team with Dana Brooke. Like, she did not miss. She's not really missing out on anything. What is she being? What is being taken away from her? A go nowhere tag team.
I don't know, man. When I saw this, I have a feeling the conversation went like this. Well, we don't have anything for you anymore. Okay, how about I go back to NXT? Ooh, good idea. I don't know. That's about the way I figure it went. But I don't know. If they're going to, I would say they're going to give her more TV time on here. I don't see why they wouldn't have moved her to SmackDown, where they are literally, like, there's like hardly any women on that show right now. I don't know why they wouldn't have moved her over there, but seems like this is going to continue. And I guess there was a trade. They're trying to say there was a trade for Mandy Rose for Aaliyah, who was one of the Robert Stone girls. I'm not sure what they're working with here, but listen, if Mandy's going to get more TV time on NXT, maybe they'll push her as something else. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm always down with more Mandy Rose.
I mean, if they put her with Robert Stone, that could do wonders for her, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's at least a character. Like, she seems to do better when she's with people who have high levels of charisma. She did a lot of good stuff with Otis.
She did. And then they just decided to stop that. And then she was literally in the middle of a storyline with Natty and Tamina and Dana. And they just stopped that. And suddenly she's on NXT. It's a little confusing. But who knows? Who knows what happened? But she is back on NXT, so I guess good for her. Right? Sure?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Barry Corbin saying that there's now 11 women in NXT, not NXT, SmackDown, with Toni Storm coming, because that would make 11. They've, I guess, pilfered NXT to get female talent on SmackDown now, so good for them, I guess.
Yeah, but they haven't showed up yet.
True. Well, most of them have, because he said 7 women before Zelina, Shotzi, and Tegan. So it'd be 8, 9, 10. Then you have Toni Storm coming for make it number 11. So everybody but Toni Storm has had TV time on the show. So We're at 10 right now with 11 on the horizon.
Oh, you bring all the Tony Storm you want.
Mm-hmm.
Bring Tony Storm on. All right. Let's see. What else did I see? Now, I did see a little bit. I did not see all of this. Now, Duke Hudson's Mark.
Yes.
I decided to go check this out because I saw a lot of people praising this guy. Who is he?
He is, I don't know a lot about him because he is apparently from Australia.
Okay.
Which I thought for sure that he was going to be British based on the name and based on the accent. But he's apparently from Australia, so I guess he was wrestling on the Australian scene. We talked about before how they were like making a push for more Australian talent and trying to bolster their ranks in Australia. Like, kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with them making random flirtations with certain countries from time to time.
Right.
Australia's their big thing now, I guess.
I guess so. Seems like it is. But
He's got that Billy Gunn thing where like he's a big dude, but he just doesn't look like a big dude. Because he's saying he's 6'5" and like 260 or something, 265 around that light range. But he doesn't look like he's 6'5". He just looks like a regular ass dude.
oh, wow, he's 6'5"? That's a tall son of a bitch
Exactly.
right there. All right.
Like that's what Billy Gunn was. But like if you look back in the Attitude Era, like with Billy Gunn, he looked like a regular sized dude.
All right. Yeah. I didn't realize he was that tall either, but you're right. He didn't look it weird. Now, he did take on Eichmann Jiro. Did I do okay there? Is it Eichmann or Eichmann?
I believe it's Eichmann.
Eichmann. I thought so. Okay. Jiro in a first round NXT breakout tournament match. So we got another tournament going on. NXT getting a little, when you start doing tournaments, you're getting a little lazy, in my opinion.
It's going to be interesting because we were talking about before when they were doing the Dusty Classic that the ratings kept going down like every week that they did the tournament. So they're doing another tournament, but with people who you don't know who they are. So that seems like that's an even bigger recipe for disaster.
You would think, but also sometimes people want to jump in and see that shit. So you do get new people seeing it. So I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I got to say, though, I did like the Eichmann guy. Because he was out there.
Yeah.
I got to get behind anybody that just comes out and like wrestles in like blazers and jackets. Just fucking anybody that wears a coat the entire time they wrestle for no apparent reason. Because he doesn't look like he's got a bad body. Like he doesn't look like he's like chubby or overweight or anything.
No.
He just looks like a normal ass dude who's, for whatever reason, he's made it his gimmick to wear like suit jackets in the ring.
Well, do what you got to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Suit jackets are very comfy. They are comfy. I will say that.
True. As Dirk is saying, he pointed it out in his promo that he was trained by the Great Muta and Tajiri.
Oh, damn.
He even did the tarantula during the match, so he got a little bit of that in there. There was no mist, unfortunately.
Oh, that's the best shit.
But I was actually thinking about that though, because his whole thing is his name it's Japanese for handsome, is what he said in his promo.
Oh.
So he's supposed to be like this kind of like pretty boy type. So I was thinking like, you could even like give him his own color mist. It's like you have him like spit out like a pink mist or a purple mist or something like that to go with his like outlandish fashion choices. Like you could like tailor his mist to his ring attire.
Oh, there you go. I like that. I just like mist. I really do.
I do too, actually. Yeah.
I really, really do. I do like mist. I like mist. I guess we could jump down to the main event here, and then we'll get into AEW. Sound like a plan?
That does sound good.
That does sound good. It was carrying.
Actually, there was one thing.
Go.
The fucking. They have no idea what they're doing with Kyle O'Reilly.
No.
Not that I really care what they're doing with Kyle O'Reilly. That's kind of the problem, I guess. Or that I want them to do better. But they have this match. They have like he's had this whole long big blood feud with Kyle O'Reilly, or not Kyle O'Reilly. He's Kyle O'Reilly. He has this big long feud with himself. Kyle O'Reilly has this big long feud with Adam Cole. They're all interchangeable apparently.
See?
And he's like, he hates him, and they're fighting, and they're cutting these promos, and they're threatening to kill each other when they're in the hospital after these matches. And he ends up losing at the Great American Bash. And they go to him this week, and they have him talk about what the loss meant to him. And his whole point was that it's no big deal because losses happen in this business. I was just like, you couldn't make this guy out to be any worse. We're just like, I tried my best. I tried my best, but it just wasn't good enough. It's like, what the fuck are you doing with this guy?
Well, Smark, sometimes you try your hardest and it just doesn't happen.
I guess not. And by it, you mean getting over.
And there's that. And in life, sometimes you lose. But sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes when you win, you really lose. Yes, I just went Rosie Perez from White Men Can't Jump.
Ooh, this has been a very Latino-centric episode. I thought you were going to, you started talking about making things wins, and I thought you were going to go Titus O'Neil there.
No, for some reason I decided to go the other way. All right. Not quite sure where I was going with that. But anyway. Listen, they're trying to make Kyle O'Reilly like this. I mean, we said a cool Kyle, and he's just a hipster. Stop already.
Right.
He's not. I'm sorry to cut you off. They're trying to make him like this James Dean character.
I was going to say it seems like they're trying to make him out to be like, they want him to be their version of Orange Cassidy, but it's like they don't know what makes Orange Cassidy work. It's like somebody that never seen Orange Cassidy try to do what they think his gimmick is.
Okay, I could go with that. I could go with that too, with a jean jacket and shit like that. Yeah, I get it, but I don't know, man. It's just they're just trying to make him out to be this cool badass, and it's like, no, he's just a little dude who, if he wasn't on TV next week, I probably wouldn't notice.
Right.
And if he wasn't on TV the week after that, I probably wouldn't notice. And the week after that, I probably wouldn't even care. I'd probably forget about him after the next week after that. So that's all I'm saying. Let's run into this final little match here. We had the Karrion Kross versus Johnny Gargano. Of course, Karrion Kross did win. Now, we had Joe as a special referee for this. And after Karrion decided to go ahead and almost kill Johnny Gargano, he attacked Joe. So it looks like Joe wanted to get back in the ring. And it looks like NXT might be the one to put him back there.
Seems that way, especially now that they're going to have crowds coming back. That's going to be a big match for a takeover.
Yeah, it would be, but remember, they haven't said anything about NXT touring. Have you heard any NXT touring dates?
I have not, but I mean, you would have to think that it's coming at the very least for takeovers.
I mean,
NXT before, they were doing it at Full Sail every week until they did takeovers anyway. So
yeah, I mean, I can think what I want, but I have not heard.
Right, there's no concrete information about that.
I mean, they haven't even announced, hey, NXT's going back on the road too. So I don't know. I don't know how long they're gonna keep NXT there. But I do agree with you. That would be one hell of a fucking match. And I'll tell you, if anyone is convincing enough to take that title off of Karrion Kross, Samoa Joe's the man to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That is the man that could be really convincing. I I see it. I think dude, Joe is your NXT champion. That ain't a bad thing at all.
Right.
Not
well, I mean,
at
he
all.
was before, so it worked that time.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, after all the attention he's got from being fired and coming back and being in NXT, and it's a good story. It'd be a great story just to come on back and, you know, a little Finn Balor-ish. You know, Finn Balor came back and won the title and this and that. So, but I could see it happening. I could definitely see it happening. So, all right, Smark. What else on NXT, or is that it?
I mean, that's about it. You got my boy old Cameron Grimes is LA Knight's butler now. They did some segments on that. That was pretty interesting. But other than that, it was kind of an uneventful show, really.
Yeah, and I'm not really watching the whole thing of either show. Is kind of helping, just seeing pieces of it. I basically, like I said, I look through the results and then I'm like, oh, I need to watch that. This catches my eye. This catches my eye. I'll get back to watching eventually, but it's just so much going on right now between I'm moving. My company is doing a little moving thing. We're not moving out of our building, but we're moving another building into our building. So I'm doing that. It's just like there's so much going on right now. I can barely concentrate on watching wrestling. It's tiring, man. It's very tiring.
It can be an endeavor at times.
It's like another job watching wrestling at this point because there's so much on. It's literally like another fucking job, and I'm like, my God, I can't do this I just can't do this job. I know this job is only watching TV, but there's so many other great shows out there.
True.
Like Criminal Minds. All right. So, let's see. Where are we at here? I haven't even looked at the fucking time. Ooh, 2:10. We're going to really get through AEW very quickly here. A quick little AEW, before we get into an AEW note, there was a certain indie wrestler, since I probably should have mentioned this during Raw, who she appeared on Raw and AEW Dark on the same night.
The old Rick Rude.
Oh, that's right. Kelsey Heather became the first talent to appear on both WWE and AEW shows on the same night on Monday. She was one of the girls with Bobby Lashley on Raw, and she was also on AEW Dark Elevation on the same night. So she did lose to Layla Hirsch on that match, but pretty cool. Hey, she's getting a lot of kind of press today. I had never seen her, so good for her. And there you go. History has been made, Smark.
No, her story has been made.
Oh, I see what you did there.
That's right. We're being progressive over here.
Kind of gross.
Hashtag women's revolution. Yes, grooming. What? No. How dare you?
Yeah, no, that was kind of gross.
It was definitely gross.
A little icky.
It felt wrong coming out of my mouth.
It should have. That's like me saying, God bless you. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
All right.
After your recent comments on religion.
Didn't even catch that. You son of a bitch. All right. Let's get into AEW tonight. I will go ahead and say, once again, my internet might as well have been a fucking 80s breakdancer. It was locking up all over the place. We do have cable being hooked up. It was supposed to be hooked up this week. We did hear the cable company here was not great. So we are getting cable soon. I'll be able to watch this much better very, very soon. But did catch most of the show. We start out with Moxley versus Carl Anderson for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I did see most of this match, I did know that I did see Moxley retain. I didn't have any. Now, Smark, I don't know if you thought maybe Anderson would win, but if you think they're going to change that belt in the United States, I don't think so.
Well, they like him over there. They like him in New Japan. Carl Anderson, anyway. They've given him belts before, so it seemed like it was possible, but I feel like the thing is, I don't feel like he's going to lose to somebody who isn't a regular in New Japan at this point, because it doesn't seem like it makes sense to get the belt off of him to avoid some of the issues that come with having a U.S. wrestler hold the belt, even though it is the U.S. title,
right?
Of just like travel problems, during the pandemic and just travel issues in general. There's been a couple of times he lost the title the first time because of he couldn't travel because they were having like a typhoon, I believe, or a tsunami. There was a big weather event that caused him to miss a show, and he got stripped of a title. So I don't think that they're going to give the belt to somebody who can't regularly make appearances in New Japan or isn't a regular on their roster. But that being said, they do like him, so it seemed like it was possible. But ultimately didn't end up happening. Like you said, he did end up retaining. It was a pretty solid match.
Yeah, for the same reasons you just gave on on why they could change it is the reasons I would say on why they won't change it until they're back in New Japan or in Japan.
Right.
The fact that that title's been in the U.S. for so long, I think the place that they that they need something big like that, and I think that'd be something good to. That's going to be a title, I believe, that's going to change hands over there in Japan.
Right.
But Lance Archer did challenge Moxley to a championship match. And I see Dirk in here is saying he's got to lose it to Archer. I don't think so, man. And I know Archer's another guy who did a lot of New Japan. They love him over there. Matter of fact, when me and Shaheen spoke to him, he was still doing stuff in Japan.
Right.
So, but I don't see them wanting that title to change hands here. I see them definitely. There's no reason not to have the title defended over here. That still gives them a little bit of fucking, the Forbidden Door, Smark.
Yes,
this is
Forbidden Door.
This is rubbing the Forbidden Door right here. This is just kind of walking by, giving it a little rub. But I think, that's good for them. But I don't think having that title change hands in the United States is going to be a good idea at this time. Because of, again, the pandemic, people haven't been around. They need people back in. It's a get. It's a get.
Yeah, I mean, unless they want it to literally be the United States title, in so much as it's just defended in the United States and, traded off by various U.S. wrestlers, and they have that U.S. promotion, the New Japan Strong promotion that they've been trying to get more eyes on. If they just want to keep the belt in the U.S. for a while, maybe that's their plan. But if it isn't, like we were just talking about, I don't see anybody that's not a regular in New Japan winning it, unless they want to use it as a way for somebody to make like a debut that hasn't been there.
Right.
You have like maybe a Jake Hager win it or something like that. This is the first name that came off my head, but something like that. Somebody who hasn't been there before, but they've wanted to use and they come to terms with, and that's how they debut them.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see, but I don't see Archer winning it next week either. But going to be a good match. It's going to be a Texas death match next week here in Dallas. It says Dallas, but it's Garland. So, all right. There we go. We'll see what happens.
Here's a quick question.
Yep.
Good line or bad line? Moxley said that Archer was Texas born, Texas bred, and after next week he will be Texas dead. Good line or bad line?
Bad line, but good rhyme.
That is actually the only correct answer, because I didn't know where I would go on this, but you've sold me on it. So I was like, it's kind of corny, but you're like, yeah, but it did do a good job of rhyming. I'm like, yeah, that is true.
Bad line, good rhyme. I'll put it that way. I mean, I didn't like it. I I laughed at it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like if anybody else would have said, like, if Cody would have said that, I would have spent 20 minutes making fun of him. Yeah. So I can't give Moxley a full-on pass.
No, I'm not going to do that. Every now and then he gets a little goofy, but it's all right. He's allowed. But we had Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage. This was for the FTW Championship. Ricky Starks did end up winning this match. Now, he did have the help of Hobbs. And I thought it was weird that Taz just, like, sits there on commentary. Like, yeah, we'll take care of this later.
Right.
Taz, get up and go fucking look at your guy and go, what the fuck you doing? What the fuck just happened?
This is interesting because it seemed like they said, Team Taz like conspired together to get the belt off of Cage and to get the belt onto Ricky Starks. Mm-hmm. And I think this is like the first instance. Maybe we talked a lot about this happening in WWE, but I feel like this is the first instance of things not working out the way that they had intended in front of live crowds. Because I feel like this was supposed to be the setup for Brian Cage becoming a face. But when Cage lost it and he got the title, he basically got screwed out of the title and Starks pinned him. Mm-hmm. The crowd chanted along with the referee count and then cheered. So they were happy that he won. They're behind Starks. They're not so much behind Cage.
Because they're not doing anything really with Cage. They've kind of made Cage the bitch.
They have. Like, the only real memorable thing was that brief period where he feuded for the title. Like, the world title.
Yeah. I mean, really, once he started praising Sting, they kind of bitched him out a little bit. I hate to tell you. That's kind of my feeling on it. But we do have once again, new FTW champion in Ricky Starks with help. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, they've sold me on, or Starks has sold me on him in AEW. I did not like him in NWA. Not at all. Not at all. But his stuff in AEW has been a lot better. I don't know if he got a big boost of confidence being signed, but I think his stuff in AEW has been a complete 180 from what I saw from him in NWA, in my opinion. So, all right. Now, we had Cody come out after this, Mark, and to just to appease Christopher Kane. I know he's not in the chat, but hopefully he'll download this. Cody sucked his own dick cutting a promo on Malachi Black. And then Black got on the screen, cut his own promo on Cody. He tells us a story, Smark, about a horse. And it was all just to say that Cody and Arn just don't have it anymore. And then suddenly, Cody loses his shit. The lights go out. The brawl begins. And that was pretty much it.
I gotta say, I liked it though. I thought it was better than the last couple of like segments that we saw from him on SmackDown. That was sort of the cryptic, sort of Bray Wyatt light version of just like talking in riddles and not necessarily saying what you want to say because perhaps you're limited with doing a dark character in PG, circumstances. So perhaps being able to talking about killing a horse was like kind of a weird way to go about it, but I see what he was getting at.
He never said they killed the horse. He never said that.
Yeah, I think he did though. Because he said that he put a plastic bag over his head and like suffocated him.
I don't think he went that far. I think he went to where he took the horse.
Put something over his head. I could probably find it here on YouTube.
No, you see, no. That would be a burlap bag you put over a horse's head. That would not be a plastic bag. That would be that would be a burlap bag. He implied that he went out to shoot the horse because it was just not what it was anymore. But he never actually said they shot the horse.
Okay.
I listened.
But did they shoot the deputy?
I don't know, but I shot the sheriff. So, but someone else. I did not shoot no deputy.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
Hoo. Yeah. Anyway, I that was pretty much it. I gotta tell you though, Hangman Page, that once again, Jericho said on his podcast they were gonna make this guy a star, and I gotta tell you, the crowd is so behind Page. And we do have crowds to actually judge that at this point. Hangman Page comes out. He's talking to Tony Schiavone for a little bit. And then at one point, the Elite all come out because they all have to come out together. And now, Smark, I do have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How much is Brandon Cutler getting paid to wear an outfit like that?
It was probably his idea.
That would scare me. That would scare me. I don't know what he was wearing. It looked like he was wearing. It looked like him and the Jackson that got in Page's face were wearing rompers, which let's just leave it at that. Like I said, one of the Bucks did get in Hangman Page's face. I forget who was that. I really don't know which is which. I know they're not twins. I completely know that.
See, and this is the thing, is I've watched them wrestle since before they went to TNA. And I still have no idea which one's which. Like, must have seen hundreds of their matches, and I still just don't know. Like, they need to take the Briscoe brothers' lead of making one of them stand out more than the other one.
Yeah, one needs a scar or something.
Yeah.
Something. Maybe, I don't know.
Because I can always tell which Briscoe is which Briscoe, and the Briscoe brothers came in looking exactly alike. But they've made a smart play of actually doing stuff to differentiate themselves.
Doesn't one of the Briscoes have different color eyes, though?
I think so. Maybe. I mean, but like that's the kind of the thing is that's not really fair because like Mark Briscoe will stand out from just anything in the world. Oh, yeah. He is a very unique individual.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I think one of those Briscoes has like real blue eyes and one of them doesn't. I might be wrong. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Jay Briscoe does. So. Yeah, Jay's got those really blue eyes. So you can. That's an easy way to tell them apart right there. Not that I stare, not that I gaze into his eyes or anything.
Yeah, well, based on some of the comments he's made on Twitter, he would very much be against it.
I believe he would be.
Anyway, if the other did not see, I forgot which one's which. I often wonder if Mark Briscoe is just like pissed off at him for that because they were going to be in the WWE, like they were going to sign that contract, and then it got unearthed that old Jay Briscoe said some pretty homophobic things, and out went that contract. So you caused your brother a shit ton of money.
Yeah, well, they got a chicken farm; they're fine.
True.
Anyway, of course, like I said before, one of the Bucks get in the Page's face. A brawl breaks out. Dark Order comes out. Now, there was some sort of match set up. Okay, let me see if I can get this here. It's a 5-on-5 elimination match. The Elite and Dark Order. If Dark Order wins, Hangman and the Dark Order get world title and tag team title shots.
That's right.
If they lose, they can't challenge for any of the belts. Am I good there? Is that right?
I believe any of the belts that are in the possession of the Elite.
Of the Elite.
World title, tag title.
Tag title. Right. Until the Elite has lost them. Okay. See, like I said, my shit was locking up tonight, but I think I caught that good enough. Okay. So that was the match right there. And that's next week, right?
I believe so, yes.
There you go. All right. This will be a fun match at minimum. And a good match. This will be a good match for next week. So, all right. And also next week, we're going to get, I believe we're going to get Jericho versus Shawn Spears. And Jericho cannot use a chair, but Shawn Spears can. I got a feeling Jericho's losing this.
Not yet. He has to win all of them to get to MJF. So if they want to throw like a monkey wrench into this, because I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up losing one of them, but I feel like it's too early to have him lose just the very first match and then be like, well, that was it. You can't get the match that you wanted. Like, I feel like you get to match 4 or match 5 to where he's only got like 1 or 2 left before he gets the match. And you think that it's a foregone conclusion, and then something happens where he ends up losing.
Then this just has to be fuckery. There is no finish.
Yeah,
I would
potentially.
assume. I mean, it's AEW, so you got to assume that. That's where I'm going with this. That's where I'm going to go. Probably next week. Christian.
Well, they said he can't use the chair.
Right.
So that seems like the most logical conclusion is that we get a ref bump. Jericho uses the chair. The ref doesn't see it. He gets the pin and wins.
Oh, there you go. Something like that. Or just, like I said, a huge brawl and DQ. No one wins anything. So, Christian versus Matt Hardy. I got to tell you, nothing special. Christian versus Matt Hardy. That's what it was. Christian wins.
I thought it was all right.
It was all right.
Like, they did a good job of putting over the fact that they both wanted to be the better wrestler. Like, it wasn't so much about a deep personal, like, hatred for each other. They've spent so much time competing against each other that it's still about proving who's superior to the other one. Because they made a whole big deal pointing out how they locked up instead of, like, going after each other at the beginning of the match.
Right.
It's still a competitive thing. That was kind of interesting way to play that.
Yeah, it was. It was. But I just, there was nothing like, whoa, about this match. Except for, you know, Luchasaurus putting
that's
Christian.
kind of the thing is that we've gotten spoiled on them. Because, like, I've been watching, like, 2001 era WWF lately. I've been watching some old Raw, some old pay-per-views. So, like, I'm seeing these, you know, the TLC matches and things like that with them and the Dudleys and, you know, all this. And you see those kind of, like, spectacular spectacles,
right,
for lack of a better term. And you just, now you're seeing them that they're older, and obviously they're not doing what they used to do when they were younger. And it's just kind of an ordinary, your everyday, like, weekly match that you'll see anywhere else with anyone else.
Well, they're not younger anymore, so I guess that will happen.
Yeah.
I did like this Britt Baker promo that happened next. Cutting a promo for Nyla Rose for their pumping up their match next week. Actually looking forward to seeing that match. Looking forward to see what happens in that match. Now, Spark, I got another guy that I was wondering if you had heard of. Wheeler, Utah.
Yes.
This guy was another guy who got a lot of fucking internet love this week.
He has seemingly perpetually forever been on the independent scene.
Huh.
And I've known of him and I've seen him wrestle, and he kind of has that. He is to me what a Shawn Spears or an LA Knight is to you. I'm just totally fucking indifferent. I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't hate him. I don't like him. I just don't care.
I like the guy. I do. He reminds me of, I don't know why, he's got just a kind of a Simon Gotch thing to him.
Yeah, perhaps.
But I like the guy. Him and Sammy, I thought, had a damn good match. Sammy winning, of course. But this guy got a lot of internet love as I was watching, you know. And even as the match was announced earlier today, I saw a lot of people going, "Oh shit, Wheeler!" So, hey, I don't know, but I seem to kind of like the guy. But I don't know. I'll see what happens with him. We'll see where he goes from here. Another.
Do you remember Amazon had a wrestling show for like a season where it was a tournament and like the guy was supposed to win like $1 million or some shit? Mm-hmm. It's called Dojo Wars.
I remember and never watched it.
He was on that. Jeff Cobb was on that. A couple of other people that I can't remember at the moment were on that.
All right. Yeah. No, never really saw it. But okay. At least it's from something I've heard of. We had the Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki match, right?
Yeah.
Penelope Ford with a little bit of a new look, looking damn good. She's always looked good. I don't think there's anything she could do to not look good. But this was a damn good match, and another match though. Once announced, everybody was really happy to see Yuka Sakazaki here. They really like the Japanese feel that goes on when with AEW. So I don't know, man. Good shit right there too. And Yuka did win that match.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good shit right there. Now, Smart, let's go ahead and get to the last match here, and then we can get this wrapped up. And I got to pee and go to sleep.
Same. I've had to pee for like an hour.
Yeah, I'm going on about 30 minutes now, and I got one more beer, and I'm not gonna wait until I pee to drink it. So, Darby Allin versus Ethan Page. We had a coffin match here.
Yes.
I liked the match. I'm kind of glad they made it a little short. I had a bad feeling like they were going to make this long, dragged out match. It wasn't short, wasn't too long. I think it was a pretty good match. I loved Scorpio Sky popping out of the coffin, like he was popping out of a cake to dance for a crowd. I thought it was hilarious. But of course Sting comes out to even up the odds, Smart, like he always does. Takes out Scorpio. Darby Allin ends up winning this match. And since that wasn't good enough, he decides to coffin drop through the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the biggest fan of Ethan Page. I've said that before. But good match, man. Really good match between these guys. And I got a feeling Darby's not the easiest guy to go against because he's so... Darby Allin, to me, reminds me... would be like trying to work with Steve-O from Jackass.
Interesting you say that, because he's, I think this came out while we were on hiatus. He's confirmed, Darby Allin's confirmed to be in the next Jackass movie.
Okay. See, maybe that's where it clicked with me. I did see that article, but I didn't. But that's just kind of like what it is. Like Steve-O will do anything. I think Darby's just like, I'll do anything, man. So, I don't know, but I really thought it was a good match. And Darby's just a crazy son of a bitch. I just really, once again, I worry we're not going to have a very long time with Darby. He's going to fuck himself up pretty bad. And let's enjoy it while it's out there.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. You never know. I'm right there with you. I also don't really care for Ethan Page, just based on some of the interviews that I've heard with him, like shoot interviews. He seems like he thinks he's way better than he actually is. Mm-hmm. But they have good chemistry together. The first time I've seen either of them they wrestled each other on an Evolve show. And they had a really good match there. It was one of those WrestleMania weekend shows. So they have good chemistry together. They've had a lot of matches together. They've built that sort of rapport that you need. So anytime they wrestle each other, it's usually a pretty good match. I enjoyed this match too. Like you said, they had the to turn the ring rope off, and they were using the hook.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty innovative. I like that. And then, like you said, the coffin drop through the actual coffin. That was pretty nice. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed AEW. I would say probably quite a bit more than NXT this week, which is the last couple of weeks that I've been watching both shows. It's actually been the inverse of that. I've enjoyed NXT a bit more than the last couple of AEW shows that I've seen, but this week there was way more eventful AEW than NXT was.
Well, it seems like AEW is kind of waiting for this time to kind of get back in their groove. They're back on their original night, and it's funny, you got, AEW back in their original night on Wednesdays, and now you got WWE having to switch their old SmackDown. So both companies preempted by some bullshit sometime. So anyway, I got nothing else, man. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah, same here.
Fuck it. Let's wrap it the fuck up. We're going on probably about a little over 2.5 hours here. And on that note, we will go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Of course, that means I want you guys to go ahead and check out the high marks. That's right. You guys know where to find them. Mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network. That's right. Double those T's when you're typing Metal Mitt Network right here on Mixler. And you can find those guys right here. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday nights. Definitely want to check out Cheeseman Mojo and G Wiz over there, the high marks. And of course, we got Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades. They are the Inhumans over there on the Inhuman Experience. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms. Definitely want to be listening to that show right there. If you have not listened yet, definitely subscribe. They will be back. And, of course, you got Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Eric, Doug, Daniel, the whole cast of characters over there. Check them out on Blog Talk Radio and all the usual podcast platforms. And Stephen Milan over there sharing the show. Appreciate it. Go check him out reviewing films over there on Letterboxd. That is BOXD.com/Stephen Milan. Don't forget 2 L's in Milan. And, of course, you guys know where you can find us. You can get us on Spreaker. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts. You can get us on Google, TuneIn, Player FM, Anchor, YouTube, anywhere you find podcasts. Go.
That's right. Mondays 8:30 on the Metal Mitt Podcast Network. Cheese on Sports with Cheese Man. Sundays 10:30 a.m. Also on the Metal Mitt Podcast Network. Also on the Mixler Machine. Mo Dirk City Machine Guns with Mojo and with Dirk. Be sure to check them out. And last but never least, Planet Raconteur. That's Planet Raconteur podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. Season 1 is complete. Season 2 is coming out. Episode 1 has already dropped. Episode 2 through the rest of the season is on the horizon, so be sure to subscribe wherever you get your gosh darn podcast.
Yeah. Now, I see Dirk is saying you're going to be playing cards on Sunday with the high marks.
Potential. Oh, I was actually on there with them this Sunday. The Sunday that just happened a couple days ago.
Now, what?
I was on there. Sam was on there. We were playing a game called Dirty Minds.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually playing like a card game, like poker or something like that. Okay. Dirty Minds.
I don't know any actual. I don't know the rules of poker. I've never actually played poker.
What?
Yes, I know. This is one of the areas that we clash the most noticeable.
Oh, we're gonna have
to. As you were sitting here with a World Series of Poker shirt on.
Oh,
I am professing to you that I have never played a game of poker.
I do have a World Series of Poker shirt on. I do. I did not realize that. Got that at a satellite tournament. We're gonna have to have poker night with Jimmy Buffett. That'd be fun.
I would rather we talk about politics for 5 hours.
All right, folks. On that note, I am going to let you guys go. Thank you so much, chat, for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you, downloaders. Thank you, Smark. And yeah, I got to be up at 5:30 in the morning, so I need to go. And God, I gotta pee. But there you go, Smark. I will not see you Friday night, but am I gonna see you next Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back Tuesday night, so
okay.
I'll have to kind of crunch to get, NXT and I will be around Wednesday.
Watch what you fucking want. I don't even give a shit anymore. There you go. So everybody, join me Friday night. Just me, right here, Mixer.com/DirtSheetDudes. And on that note, Friday night it will be. See ya!
Adios.